City Minister Nyesom Wike, saying that peace would be in the interest of the state. Operatives of the Edo State Police Command have arrested some members of the Edo State Security Network in connection with the death of one Omobude. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Funsho Adeboye, who disclosed this in Benin, said that the members of the state's security network were invited by one Hassan Haladu during a fight with the deceased. He said that the Edo State Security Network, on arriving at the scene of the fighting, tied the deceased, who later died as a result of suffocation, adding that on receiving the information, the operatives of the Boba Hill Divisional Headquarters stormed the scene and arrested 6 suspects. The commissioner also said that the corpse of the deceased has been deposited at our clinic hospital for autopsy, while an investigation has commenced. Adeboye also disclosed the arrest of one Ahere Solomon, an alleged serial killer who had participated in related killings in the state, and the suspect was arrested following an investigation into a case of alleged murder reported to the command by one Samuel. Former Commissioner of Information in Abia State, John Oki Carlo, has urged the current administration to stop politicizing the security crisis rocking the state. In a statement on Sunday, Carlo opined that all past governors of the state had encountered, confronted, and overcame security challenges earlier in their tenures, particularly in Aba. According to him, it is a non-recurring phenomenon in the state beginning of this fourth republic. Mr. Kano warned that politicizing insecurity would have negative consequences on the state, stressing that it would allow for the real criminals to escape justice and celebrate when a leader has the wrong diagnosis. He urged Governor Alex all Abia citizens to help fight the security crisis instead of rallying to the score cheap political points that is not needed now. Gunmen suspected to be kidnappers have abducted 20 travelers along the Shagam-Ijebode Expressway. The kidnappers, at about 8 p.m. on Sunday, were said to have ambushed the travelers between Shagam Area Command of the Nigerian Police ship. ATN gathered that one of the victims, a resident of who was shot in the knee but managed to escape. Confirming the incident, the chairman of Lison Development Council, Otumba Wemi Osude, said that the victim was already receiving medical attention at the Babcock University Teaching Hospital. Osude, who expressed hope that the abducted individuals will be rescued, said that he had reported the commander. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke says his administration has concluded plans to launch the Osun Young Agropreneurs Incubation Program, which would target several young farmers and agropreneurs across the agricultural value chain. The governor said that the initiative was part of the recommendations of the Food Security Committee put in place by the state government, adding that the chaired by the Special Advisor on Agriculture, Akanfe, had been given the mandate to put into effect the suggestions and proposals of the Food Security Committee report. Adeleke said that under the program, at least 1,000 hectares of land per local government across the 30 local government areas in the state will be made available, alongside provisions of tractors that would clear it. Speaking after the meeting with a Nordic firm interested in setting up a tractor assembly plant in Osun, the state governor also said his plan for the agricultural sector was robust and all-inclusive one, adding that the state was ready to implement various programs. According to the governor, other incentives that will be made available under the initiative including the farm inputs, all-season irrigation farming, as well as integration of hydroponic farming, integration of balancing, and inclusivity. Lagos State government has urged public servants to maintain good health and hygiene to avoid contracting cholera and other water or airborne diseases. A statement on Sunday noted that the Permanent Secretary Public Service Office, Sunkomi Oyebola, gave the advice at a monthly walk for fitness exercise for public servants in the state. According to Oyebola, the state government is working assiduously to ensure a safe environment for residents. The present administration was committed to the well-being of the public servants and Lagosians across the state. She urged the public servants to always take the constant practice of working for safer health responsibility based on the belief that health is wealth. Also, the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Health Management Agency, Dr. Emanuela Zamba, called for improved hygiene at schools, offices, and homes. Meanwhile, amidst the cholera outbreak, some Lagos residents declared poor access to public water, calling on Lagos State Water Corporation to improve service. Stakeholders have pledged to partner with the federal government and development partners to combat the rising malnutrition in northern Nigeria. They made the pledge while diagnosing malnutrition surge in northern Nigeria, addressing humanitarian crisis in Abuja in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. This is coming after earlier in June, the Médecins Sans Frontières, also known as Doctors Without Borders, said that its inpatient facilities in northern Nigeria recorded an extraordinary increase in admissions of severely malnourished children with life-threatening complications, exceeding last year's figures by over 100% in some locations. It also described it as an alarming indication of a premature peak of the lean season and the increase in acute malnutrition that accompanies it, typically anticipated in July. Meanwhile, the founder and chancellor of the Athena Center, Osita Chidoka, in his opening remarks at the event, called on stakeholders to unite to save the lives of young Nigerians facing acute malnutrition and called for the urgent need for collaborative efforts to address the pressing issue. The Federal Capital Territory Commissioner of Police, Benes Igwe, has ordered restrictions on vehicles plying the roads with single or no plate numbers across the nation's capital. He also directed the arrest and prosecution of defaulters. A statement by the command spokesperson, Josephine Ade, Igwe also warned car dealers against parking their vehicles in an unauthorized parking lot and driving beyond the stipulated line, adding that defaulters will be made to face the full wrath of the law. Ade said that the command had observed motorists and car dealers driving cars with single or no plate numbers beyond the stipulated time, adding that the cases of one-chance operators in the FCT have been linked to the practice and urged motorists and dealers to desist from such acts. KB State has lost another pilgrim, Mariamu Mayalo from Mayama local government area, who passed away in Mecca following a protracted illness. A statement by the executive chairman of the state's Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Farouk Inabo, through the chief press secretary to the governor, Ahmad Idris, said that Mayalo died on Sunday at King Abdulaziz Hospital in Makkah, following that, adding that late Hajia Mariamu will be buried after Asr prayers at the Haram Mosque, according to Islamic rites. The Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris expressed his condolences over the death of Hajia Mariamu, praying for Allah to grant her a Jannah Fidausi and to give her family the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss. The Emir of Gwoza local government area of Borno State, Alhaji Muhammad Shehu Tinta, says that multiple suicide attacks were carried out at various locations, including a wedding reception and a burial ceremony in Gwoza town. The coordinated incidences took place in the afternoon and allegedly caused pandemonium as people scampered for safety. Timta also confirmed that the entire Gwoza Council area is in mourning following the multiple suicide attacks on the community, and explained that the first suicide attack was masterminded by an unidentified woman who sneaked with 2 children into a wedding reception of a popular young man in Gwoza, saying that she detonated her improvised explosive devices, killing herself and many people. A few minutes later, he said another suicide bomber sneaked into a burial ceremony nearby and detonated improvised explosive devices, and the third explosion with more casualties, while a member representing Gwoza Chibok Damboa Federal Constituency, Ahmad Usman Jahar, while reacting to the incident, sympathized with the families of those who lost their loved ones in the multiple attacks, and prayed to Allah to grant their souls of the deceased Al-Jannah to Fidaus, and wished those who sustained injuries quick recovery. Gwoza town is in the southern Borno border between the Cameroon Republic and had been declared Boko Haram territory after it was captured by insurgents, with hundreds of people killed before it was later liberated by troops. President Bola Tinubu has described the bomb attacks in Borno State as desperate acts of terror and a clear manifestation of the pressure mounted against the terrorists and the success achieved in degrading their capacity to launch offensives. He condemned the attack in Gwoza local government area of the Borno State, especially as it resulted in the loss of precious lives and the maiming of other citizens. Tinubu warned that the purveyors of wanton violence shall have a certain encounter with justice, and that these cowardly acts are only but an isolated episode. A statement by his media aide, Ajuri Ngelale, Tinubu said that his government will not allow the nation to slither into an era of fear, tears, sorrow, and blood, adding that his administration is adopting necessary measures to secure citizens, and efforts will be redoubled to ensure that those who trouble the nation, dispatching precious lives and disrupting law and order, are completely removed. You are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this very short break. Stay tuned.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back to Transition News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima says the federal government is committed to the advancement and security and welfare of the citizens. Shettima gave the assurance when he led the federal government delegation to offer condolences to the Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, in Kefi, Nasarawa state capital. This is coming after the minister lost her mother, Ms. Aisha Suleiman Danladi, while Shettima, who represented President Bola Tinubu, was accompanied by the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, and the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Dr. Emmanuel Akabe. A statement by his spokesperson, Stanley Nkwocha, Shettima said that he was there at the instance of Tinubu to commiserate with the family over the demise of their mother. Federal government, in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund and development partners, have agreed to strengthen the social protection system to address growing poverty. A communique jointly endorsed by UNICEF representative Christian Mundualte, EU ambassador in Nigeria Samuel Alsopi, and Nigeria's Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, at the end of the third edition of the Social Protection Cross-Learning Summit held in Abuja, said that Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa. The communique also said that the country faces significant challenges in human capital development and deprivations in health, education, nutrition, water, hygiene, sanitation, and child protection, adding that the situation underscores the urgency for comprehensive and effective social protection strategies. Edun also stressed on the importance of integrated social protection systems, adding that Nigeria is committed to ensuring access to social protection for all and removing the barriers that people face in accessing these services. On her part, UNICEF representative in Nigeria, Munduate, on behalf of the Social Protection Development Partners Group, said that social protection is crucial in realizing the rights of every child. Minister of Police Affairs, Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, has resolved the ongoing face-off between the Police Service Commission and the Nigerian Police Force. This is coming after the conclusion of the recruitment exercise, and the Police Service Commission on June the 4th released the list of 10,000 successful applicants for constable and specialist cadre roles in the Nigerian Police Force. 11 days later, the police rejected the list over the allegations that the recruitment exercise was marred by corruption and irregularities. A statement by the force spokesperson, Muiwa Adejobi, said that several names of persons purported to be names of successful candidates are those who do not even apply and therefore did not take part in the recruitment exercise, and the Commission's union called for the removal of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, for misrepresenting facts on the recruitment exercise. The Police Service Commission, in its first response on the matter, challenged the police to provide evidence to substantiate its claim that the recruitment exercise was characterized by corruption. And on June the 25th, Police Service Commission Head of Press and Public Relations Ikechukwu Ani stressed that the final list of successful candidates from the recruitment would never be cancelled, insisting that the exercise was done in accordance with relevant laws. Now to some business reports. The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation has said that that accounts name discrepancies in bank verification numbers (BVN) linked alternate accounts of some defunct Heritage Bank customers is delaying the payment of their insured deposits. The managing director of NDIC, Bello Hassan, made this known to ATN. According to him, the corporation had paid a substantial amount to depositors of the defunct bank without BVN account-linked issues. Hassan urged depositors of the bank who were yet to receive their insured deposit credit alert to visit the NDIC website and complete their verification forms for their payment. The managing director noted that the verification would also include depositors without a BVN alternative account and on payment of depositors with more than 5 million naira with the bank. Hassan said that there will be payment liquidation. They will be paid liquidation dividends. He said that the NDIC has already begun the process of disposing of the fiscal buildings and also set the process in motion to make sure that we recover the loans and advances that we are granted by the bank. ATN recalls that the Central Bank of Nigeria on June the 3rd revoked the banking license of Heritage Bank PLC. The Apex Bank said that the decision was made due to the bank's failure to improve its financial performance, posing a threat to financial stability. As investors begin registration for the 2024 licensing round, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has removed 5 oil blocks from the ongoing licensing round due to legal disputes. The 5 oil blocks are said to be under various litigations, and the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission confirmed the development, and the affected assets are PPL 3008, PPL 3009, PML 51, PPL 267, and PPL 268. ATN reports that 5 blocks were amongst the 12 initially announced by the NUPRC. By NUPRC Chief Executive Benga Komolafe at the Miami International Roadshow for the 2024 licensing round, hosted by the NUPRC in collaboration with the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria and the ZETS Advisory and Consulting. The 12 oil blocks initially listed by Komolafe were PPL 300 CS, PPL 301 CS, PPL 3008, PPL 3009, PPL 2001, 2002, 51, 267, 268, 269, 270, and 271. However, while announcing that the assets on offer would be increased, the NUPRC said 5 others were removed because of legal disputes. Officials of the commission did not reply to inquiries from our correspondents on who the litigants are and the reasons for the litigation. Our correspondent reports that the commission did not indicate whether or not the 5 affected assets are out of the 17 on offer. The United Nations Industrial Development Organization and the World Trade Organization have partnered to chart a pathway to mobilizing $12 billion for sustainable cotton production in Africa. A statement posted on the United Nations Industrial Development Organization's website said that the World Trade Organization 9th Global Review of Aid for Trade themed Cotton to Clothing, charting pathways to create sustainable jobs for women and youth in West and Central Africa as part of the parliamentarian Partenariat Polar Cotton ongoing efforts to mobilize resources for West Africa's developing cotton textile industry. The statement also said that the initiative aims to mobilize $12 billion for the cotton for countries in Benin, Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, and Cote d'Ivoire to support the development of a truly sustainable cotton industry in the region. On his part, United Nations Industrial Development Organization said the Director General, Gerd Muller, said that the shared goal is fair and sustainable local cotton processing to create decent jobs and economic fortune and growth in the region. World Trade Organization Director General Okonjo Iweala said that West Africa stands at the cusp of a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity in the cotton and textile industry. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged the government of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, to account for and explain the whereabouts of the over $100 billion naira dirty and bad notes and other large sum of cash awaiting examination, which are kept in various branches of the CBN. A statement signed by his Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, Serap said that the allegations are documented in the latest annual report recently published by the Auditor General of the Federation. And the allegations by the Auditor General suggest grave violations of public trust, including the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution, the CBN Act, the national and international anti-corruption delegations. Serap also asked Cardoso to explain the whereabouts of the 7.2 billion naira budgeted for the construction of the CBN Duse branch in 2010 and the 4.8 billion naira budgeted for the renovation of the CBN Abeokuta branch in 2009, and to publish the names of the contractors and collected the money but failed to complete the projects. Serap urged the CBN boss to explain the whereabouts of the alleged missing outstanding loan of 1.2 billion naira granted to the Enugu State government in 2015 and the outstanding loan of 1.9 billion naira granted to the Anambra State government. between 2015 and 2016 and to fully recover and remit to public funds, the public funds to the Treasury. Serap also said that the Auditor General expresses fear that the dirty and bad notes initially planned to be destroyed may have been diverted and re-injected into the economy. You are watching Atlantic Television Network's Transition News, and now on to the international tidbits. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa on Sunday announced that he had awarded opposition parties in his coalition 12 out of 32 ministries. The largest opposition, the Democratic Alliance, won 6 ministries, including education, public works, and environment, while 6 other posts went to smaller parties. The African National Congress will retain 20 ministries, including key portfolios such as finance, foreign affairs, energy, and defense. Ramaphosa announced opposition leader John Steenhuisen of the Democratic Alliance as the Minister of Agriculture. Ramaphosa, 71, re-elected for a second full term, called the Government of National Unity after ANC lost its outright majority in the May elections. Ramaphosa has had to balance demands for key ministerial positions from within his party and its new allies. During tense negotiations, leaked documents of disagreements on positions between Ramaphosa and Steenhuisen circulated on social media. The ANC, who has governed South Africa since the advent of democracy in 1994, accused the DA of making outrageous demands for more than 10 cabinet positions, some of which are key portfolios. U.S. President Joe Biden has assured Democrats donors that he can still win November's presidential election against Donald Trump after a poor debate performance fueled concerns about his candidacy. The president, 81 years of age, attended a series of fundraising events in New York and New Jersey. Speaking at one event, Biden promised he will win the election. Biden's debate performance was marked by hard-to-follow and shaky answers, raising fresh fears among some Democrats over whether he is the right candidate to contest this high-stakes election. Biden's campaign accepted that the debates had not gone as they had hoped, but said that he would not step aside for another nominee, while former President Barack Obama, a close friend of President Biden, said on social media that bad debate nights happen, and the election is still a choice between someone who fought for ordinary folks his entire life and someone who only fights about himself. Police says one person was killed and 5 others wounded in northeastern France when several masked gunmen opened fire at a wedding ceremony. The attack in the northeastern city of Thionville was linked to the settling of scores between drug traffickers, while 2 persons were seriously injured and one of them was in a critical condition. The perpetrators of the shooting have fled the scene, and Thionville is located close to the borders of Luxembourg and Germany. Members of law enforcement believe that a settling of scores linked to drug dealers was behind the violence. And next is entertainment news. Veteran Nollywood actor Olu Jacobs' family has released a video confirming his well-being, dispelling earlier false reports of his death. The video, shared widely on social media, showed Jacobs in good health, reassuring fans and dispelling the rumors of It was earlier reported that the veteran actor was dead by different social media platforms. It is no news that Olu Jacobs has been battling dementia for a while now. The actor's family has also released a video to prove that the actor is alive. Popular Nigerian music producer Sam Clef has claimed responsibility for the arrest of controversial critic Very Dark Man, otherwise known as VDM. Reports were rife on Sunday that VDM was arrested weeks after he was released. He had been in and out of police custody since the beginning of this year, following his collisions with different Nigerian celebrities. Reacting to Very Dark Man's latest arrest, Sam Clef wrote in a post on his social media page, saying that he is behind Very Dark Man's arrest, noting that he has a serious death threat case with him. Nigerian singer Damini Ogulu, popularly known as Burna Boy, has officially surpassed 1 billion streams in the United Kingdom. He now joins his compatriot Wizkid as the only African artist to earn over 1 billion streams in the United Kingdom. Burna Boy also holds the record of the highest peaking African album on the UK charts. With his 6th studio album, Love Damini, toppling the charts in July 2022, Burna Boy became the first African artist to sell out the 80,000 capacity London Stadium twice. And some sports. Manchester United are keen on signing Victor Osimhen, with the Red Devils reportedly plotting a player plus cash deal to sign the 25-year-old Napoli striker. The Nigerian has been linked with clubs like Chelsea, Arsenal, PSG, but a number from Calcio Napoli 24 states that United are very much in the race as well. According to the report, the Red Devils have offered cash plus striker Rasmus Højlund in a deal for the Napoli. Man, it will be interesting to see if the Italian giants are willing to accept such an offer. Højlund joined United last season and was quite impressive in his debut campaign in England. It will be quite surprising if they decide to sanction his departure. The Denmark international is a prodigious talent with a bright future, and he could develop into a key player for the club. Napoli are prepared to cash in on Osimhen summer, despite being their leading top scorer for the past 2 seasons, including the Scudetto winning 2022 and 2023 campaign. Having proven himself in Italian football, he could look to test himself at another league, with the Premier League touted as his new destination. After signing a contract with Napoli, the Nigerian's release clause was pegged between 120 million euros and 120 million and 130 million euros, but that amount has been a problem for suitors, forcing the club to reduce Osimhen's asking price to 100 million euros. England escaped an embarrassing last 16 exit at the Euro 2020 thanks to Jude Bellingham's overhead kick before Harry Kane struck in extra time for a 2-1 win over Slovakia. As on Sunday, the Three Lions have been hyped as one of the favorites to end the 58-year wait for the major tournament glory, but looked set to go on without a whimper to Ivan Schran's 25th goal. However, Bellingham's moment of inspiration 5 minutes into 6 added on stoppage time breathed new